One of the main reasons of the meeting tonight, and that's to introduce and have both of our candidates for Canton Municipal Court judge speak to the crowd. I know they're going to address the audience. We're going to give each individual 4 minutes to introduce themselves, give an outline of why they're running, and go over some of their background. And then at that point, then after they both speak, we're going to allow questions from the audience. But the only thing that we're going to, because of the judicial race, we want to make sure that the questions are appropriate. So if anybody has a question for either one of the candidates, please submit the questions to Susan Walker and Cody over there so they can look at them to make sure that the questions are okay. At this time, we'll go by alphabetical order, and I'm going to actually ask Angela Alexander and Kristen Gardino to come up front and sit at the table. And we'll go by alphabetical order. Ms. Alexander, start with an A, you get to go first.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Angela. Okay, Angela Alexander, and I know many of you know me. I've seen at least a few of you around. I have been asked, why are you running for Canton Municipal Court when you've been a prosecutor in Summit County for 10 years? And my answer to that is because I want to bring the expertise that I have developed over the years in prosecuting domestic violence cases to Canton Municipal Courts and innovate the courts. The courts have been stagnant here as far as programs and innovation, and I would like to come down here and develop an innovative program like what they have in Summit County. Now, I've read a lot and I've talked to a lot of people, and what I'm hearing, which is hurtful, is that, well, you're an outsider. You're not from here. I absolutely am from here. I grew up over by the fairgrounds on Crown. I went to Clarendon Elementary School. I went to Lehman Junior High, and I graduated from McKinley. So my background is rooted in Canton. When my husband and I got married, we got married at St. John's Church in Canton. My oldest son attended Canton City Schools, and I was, as a student of Canton City Schools, very involved in sports, dancing, a lot of different activities as a child. So I'm not an outsider. I'm from here, but I've been working a significant period of time in Summit County. My husband and I had a choice when it came time to, when we outgrew our house over by the fairgrounds. We could move to Summit County. We had a lot of connections in Summit County. A lot of people like us there, and suggested that we should both move to Summit County and run for judge. And we were looking around at property, and we thought about it, and we decided Canton is where we want to be. And we started looking at school districts and looked at plain local schools. And plain local schools are fantastic schools. And I thank Kristen for her service on the school board because they are good schools. And that's exactly why we decided to build in Plain Township. And I did not want to move to Summit County, and I wanted to stay here. So for those people that consider me an outsider, I'm not. I shop here. My kids play on the sports teams here. I frequent, all of the areas around here, the Civic Center. So just to clear up that misconception, I'm not an outsider, I am here. Now, as far as how I ended up in Summit County. When I went to law school, as a law student, you get opportunities to intern. And at one point, I actually interned at the, before I went to law school, at the Stark County Clerk of Courts when Phil Giavasis was the clerk there. And it was an unpaid internship just to get some experience. And then a paid internship was offered at Massillon, in the Massillon Law Department. So I ended up working there for a little bit. And then I saw that a position opened up at the Legal Defender's Office in Summit County. And that was a paid position as well. I was a single mother, and it was a paid position. And what was important about that position for me is that it allowed me to practice law in municipal court as an attorney without being licensed. So I had a legal intern certificate, but I was actually practicing as an attorney. I had my first misdemeanor jury trial, it was a menacing by stalking case, as an intern. So I got a lot of trial experience in municipal court. I got a lot of hearing experience in municipal court, bond hearings. Every hearing that they have in municipal court, I did it as an intern working at the legal defender's office. And then after I passed the bar exam, then I was allowed to, as part of our employment at the legal defender's office, but down here it's called the public defender's office, I was able to have a private practice. And that brought me to Canton, and I had a lot of criminal cases here in Canton as defense. I tried jury trials in Canton as defense. I practiced in Stark County Probate Court, Stark County Domestic Relations Court. The majority of my private practice clients were down here in Canton. But I still had the job in Akron at the Public Defender's Office because that was a steady source of income and it provided health insurance. So being in Summit County, knowing the people there, the opportunity arose for me to go work at the Summit County Prosecutor's Office. And it wasn't just a prosecutor's office position that they were offering. What they were offering is a felony domestic violence prosecutor specializing in domestic violence and violent crimes against intimate partners. And that was something that I was interested in, so I went ahead and took that position, and I have been there for 10 years. And I spent 6 years prior to that with the Public Defender's Office and doing it in private practice. Now, what I've been doing for the past 10 years, the things that I've been doing that make me a good candidate, I believe a good candidate for judge, is I have the background as a criminal defense attorney. I have the background in civil law. I also have 10 years experience dealing with violent felons. I've tried every case from a misdemeanor, minor misdemeanor traffic offense to capital murder cases. And for those of you who are not lawyers, the difference is a minor misdemeanor traffic trial or even a misdemeanor domestic violence trial may take 1 or 2 days. A capital murder trial takes a month. And it takes a lot of stamina, it takes a lot of patience, and it takes a lot of dedication to making sure that the person is convicted and that their rights are protected. And to be a good judge, in my opinion, you need to understand what it's like to be a defense attorney and what it's like to be a prosecutor. Because if you don't appreciate the role that the defense attorney plays in court, a lot of times you have judges who are overly harsh on defendants or overly harsh on defense counsel. And so that's why I think it's important that I have the diverse experience in both sides of criminal law. And the trial experience, why is that important? It just shows you that my ability to have trials and be under that pressure and still maintain a demeanor that's appropriate and represent our profession in a way that is appropriate and professional. I was awarded the 2013 High Point Award of Summit County, and I believe it's online, when you read it, it outlines why. And one of the reasons I received that award is because Sherry Bevan Walsh, the prosecutor, recognized that I have an ability and a demeanor to remain calm and appropriate in circumstances where at times it could be difficult. And as a judge, you know, you have to be able to relate to people and relate to the defendants that come before you in a way that's fair to them, but in a way that protects the public. And I have spent, 10 years doing violent cases, rape cases, murders. I have 3 murder cases pending right now. I have 3 rape cases pending right now. I protect children from child abuse, but that is my background as far as what I've done. But the point that I'm most proud of, and the thing that I want you all to know, is that I have participated in every type of specialty docket that there is.